All right, this is Tara Devlin from Tarabuster, Unapologetic Liberal Talk. We're on the verge of yet another self-inflicted crisis. In a couple of days, I'm talking about the eviction moratorium that's set to expire. And, corporate media is reporting that Joe Biden can do something about, but it's not Joe Biden that's letting it expire, even though there are some who are saying that he could defy the Supreme Court. I wish he would, but it was the Supreme Court the illegitimate Supreme Court, excuse me. That's the way they need to be referred to, since Moscow Mitch McConnell pulled his gravedigger of American democracy dirty tricks and shoved unqualified loyalists onto the bench, using every dirty trick in the anti-democratic playbook. So it was the Supreme Court, the illegitimate Supreme Court, who said that the eviction moratorium should expire, and if they wanted to extend it, it had to be through Congress, an act of Congress, which we know will happen the first of never, because the way that the Congress, thanks to the filibuster, nothing's going to get done unless it's funneling more tax money, more of our money, into the coffers of Jeff Bezos so he can F off into space, while us here down on Earth get to fight over the scraps, I suppose. But because there are 320 million Americans, and of that 320 million of us, 10 million are behind in rent, so they're facing eviction. Of the 10 million, 1 million Americans will be promptly evicted as soon as the moratorium expires. So that means that in a couple of days, there will be there will be 1 million more homeless American families on the street. And this is disgusting. This makes me ashamed. Because we keep hearing how rich we are. This is the richest country on earth. Yeah, we're rich in all the ways that make you poor. We're rich in greed, selfishness, indifference. We're certainly not rich in compassion or community spirit or Pluribus Unum. How about that? Leave no one behind. Oh, we leave people behind all the time. And we had problems before the pandemic. The pandemic has only exacerbated them. The fact is, before the pandemic, 5 million Americans were behind in rent. And a recent survey came out that of every place in America, minimum wage workers can't afford rent anywhere in the United States. I'm not just talking about New York City. I mean, people can't afford rent in Moscow Mitch's meth lab infested hovel S-hole that he pretends to represent. So, not in decent places, in those places too, everywhere. So that's a problem. It's not because, why? Why is it a problem? The corporations are doing great. They're reaping record profits. American worker, the productivity is through the roof in record ways. So corporations reaping record profits, paying zero taxes. The rich are getting richer. The working class are becoming the permanent working poor. And that shouldn't even be a thing that exists. The working poor? That's disgusting. The whole notion. We can't have a functioning democracy and this kind of income disparity at the same time. It is about saving democracy itself. And that's another reason why the Republicans will not do anything about it, to save people, to help people, because they want the American people nice and desperate and fighting each other. So they'll start the drumbeat, and we hear it all the time. The drumbeat will be, they're taking advantage. There are lazy people in the social safety net hammock. We know it's baloney. The social safety net in the United States is not that generous as far as the rest of the world is concerned. That's for sure. And all I have to ask again is how much longer? How much longer are we going to take it? And that's why I do the show, to get to maybe reach people, to educate people that we can't have a democracy and this kind of concentrated wealth. It just doesn't work. We can't have that at the same time. And a lot of time, well, not a lot, well, sometimes, many times, I haven't actually counted. But I think about alternate histories, and it makes me weep. Because I think about FDR and how if he hadn't passed away so suddenly, we would be living in a much different country. Because when he passed away, FDR was working on his second Bill of Rights. Which one of the rights in FDR's proposed second Bill of Rights was the right of every family to a decent home. And when I read FDR's second Bill of Rights, it makes me want to weep. Because this is the country we should live in. The right to earn enough to provide adequate food and clothing and recreation. The right to a useful and remunerative job in industries or shops or farms or mines of the nation. The right to adequate medical care. And the opportunity to enjoy good health. The right to adequate protection from the economic fears of old age, sickness, accident, and unemployment. That's just some of it. That sounds like a functioning democratic republic to me. And we have to pick up this mantle, FDR's second Bill of Rights, and bring it over the finish line. Otherwise, we're done. Guys, I don't mean to be, hyperbolic, but yeah, we're up against an anti-democratic cult, the Republican Party, and they are doing all they can to ensure that democracy dies. And that includes ensuring a large pool of exploitable working class idiots to use as the scapegoats. And you'll hear it on Fox News. They will start I'm sure they're doing it now, the drumbeat of disdain. Focus your disdain on those who are, for example, the unemployment relief. People getting an extra $300. They're suddenly the problem. They're too much. They're having it too good. When living check to check, 80% of the American people are living check to check. And that we just have it too damn good. Enough. Guys, we're on the right side of history. Listen. We have to pick up FDR's second Bill of Rights. And in the meantime, keep spreading the word that we will win. This is what democracies require. They require that we leave no one behind. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for listening and for your support. If you're a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin and all your and everybody in between, even if you're just a super chatter, or just join us in the chat room during the live show. So hit the like and subscribe and the notification bell so you will be informed when the show goes live, and you can hang out in the chat room with the rest of the cool kids. And this is what we talk about. We're plotting the revolution to take back a country, to actualize the dreams and the promises in our founding documents by implementing the unapologetic progressive agenda that built the middle class to begin with and will save it again. My name is Tara Devlin. Thanks for listening. Keep coming back. It works if you work it, so work as you're worth it, and we will win. I'll see you soon.